everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I will show you how to crochet the Foundation Treble Crochet Stitch. This is a really handy skill to have, and it allows you to simultaneously make a chain, a beginning chain in your work, and a row of Foundation Treble Crochet stitches. So it eliminates the need to create a really long beginning chain, and it is pretty stretchy and it saves you a little bit of time. For this tutorial, I'm just using some worsted weight yarn and a J hook. However, feel free to experiment with different yarns and different hooks. And if you're not sure what hook to use with your yarn, just check the yarn label for the recommended hook size. So let's get started. We're going to begin by putting a slip knot on our hook. To make a slip knot, wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop. Bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your crochet hook and bring up a loop, and then tighten onto your hook. Next, we're going to chain 5. To make a chain, wrap yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to wrap yarn around the hook 2 times. So 1, 2, and then we're going to insert our hook into the furthest chain from our hook. So the first chain we made, insert your hook into that chain, then wrap the yarn around the hook again and bring up a loop. You now have 4 loops on the hook. Then you're going to wrap yarn around the hook, bring it through that first loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops on your hook, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops on your hook, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops on your hook. You'll then have 1 loop left, and we've made our first Foundation Treble Crochet Stitch. Now, these chains that we did at the beginning also count as 1, so we actually technically have 2. So if we turn our work to the side, at the very bottom you're going to see a V. It's going to be 2 loops at the bottom. That's what we're going to be working into next. So what you'll want to do, and I like to turn mine, and even though our stitches are going to face this way, I always hold mine to the side when I work. For me, it's a little easier. As you learn how to do this, you'll see what's easiest for you. But I like to hold mine off to the side and kind of work up like a ladder. So let's work the next Foundation Treble Crochet Stitch. Wrap yarn around hook 2 times, 1, 2, and then again we're going to turn it to the side and locate that V. It's 2 loops at the very base there. So insert your hook into that V and make sure, I'm doing this very slowly so you can see, but make sure you have 2 loops on your hook like that, okay? So wrap the yarn around the hook and bring up a loop. You'll now have 4 loops on your hook. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first loop. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops on your hook. You'll now have a loop. And we've made our next Foundation Treble Crochet Stitch. Okay, let's do one more together. Wrap yarn around hook 2 times. Insert the hook into this V at the base of your work, just like that. I'll bring that close. You can see there's 2 loops. We insert it into the V. Wrap yarn around hook, bring up a loop. 4 loops are on the hook. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first loop. And I just want to pause for a moment. When we bring it through that first loop, that's creating the chain along the bottom because we're simultaneously working chains and treble crochet stitches. Bring it through that first loop is creating the chain. Bring it through those next loops is creating the treble crochet stitch. Okay, so we brought it through the first loop. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the next 2 loops. Wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops on your hook. So we've now made 4 Foundation Treble Crochet Stitches. I'll get my hook out of the way. So you can keep going as far as you need to go for your pattern, or if you just want to practice and make a whole bunch of them. So that is how you crochet the Foundation Treble Crochet Stitch. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.